my question for you is, what are those barriers that are currently hindering youth in engaging in governance in their cities and in their communities?
I'm grateful and honored to be here today trying to bring the voices of young women and youth from Chile, my country, and from Latin America. I am aware of the privilege it means to be here, to be seen, to be heard, and to be taken into account. And I want to address the question from here. At this moment, you can see us, you can see everyone here in this room, because one way or another, we have been able to overcome the barriers of access to information, to participation, barriers of language, of education, of being able to decide how we want to use our free time, of being able to cross borders, of perhaps not working or worrying about the lack of food every day on the table, or having a roof over our heads, or many other factors that may have stopped us from being here. You can see us. But who we are not seeing? We don't see those who work, those who fight daily for food, those who have nowhere to sleep, those who speak a language we don't understand, those who cannot read or write, women relegated to unpaid work, or women that cannot afford being a few days away from their family because there's no one else to take that role for them. Those who often we don't want to see, even though they're in front of our eyes. The millions of young people we need in discussion, but who have not yet been able to break the barriers that leave them aside, and that prevent them from using their potential to improve our society that now face a social, environmental, economic, gender, and a human rights crisis. Trying to explain the barriers that prevent us, young people, from being part of the governance of our communities, cities, or countries, especially to young women from countries in the global south like Chile, it's a very, very difficult task in less than 5 minutes. Because the people who suffer and will suffer the most from the negative impacts of the urban design and the consequences of the climate crisis are those of us who don't enjoy the benefits we have been promised for years. Those who are constantly limited in our rights by this system that commodifies ways of life and common goods and that plans our destiny without prioritizing our needs, rights, and aspirations. In this changing world, after a lockdown never seen before, school closures, the consequences of the climate crisis, wars, political tensions, discrimination, racism, and a ton of other situations that create an uncertain and complex world, youth and women can transform these adversities into ideas and efficient solutions to build together a better world and resilient cities. And with that, break down the barriers that prevent children, youth, women, indigenous, Afro-descendant, and rural communities from being part of decision-making spaces, and maybe spaces like this where we can really connect and work together for the world we dream. There is no more time to lose. We cannot continue to make decisions without the people who will not only live with their impacts in the future, but us, who are also now suffering the consequences of the lack of action. Today, people between 15 and 25 years old make up a quarter of the people that live in our planet. But we cannot wait until we're old enough to participate in the governance, because by that time, it will be too late. As Antonio Gutierrez said, cities are the place where the climate battle will be won or lost. So in the face of the ticking clock and the suffering of millions of people around the world, we cannot afford to waste the talent of the youth that needs to be in the decision-making spaces and not have an intersectional and intergenerational approach when acting together for our present and our future. But how do we do it? What can we do from now on to break these barriers and to generate the change that is needed? I sadly don't have the universal answer, but I'm sure that with a dialogue in solidarity, we can listen to the voices that most need to be heard and join together in this mission. Thank you.